What's up, insiders? In this video, I will answer most of your questions you have been asking me on social media. We're gonna start with YouTube comments. Alan is asking on YouTube, how do you find out how much to charge for roof installations? Just a trial error? Lower your cost until client continually buy? Is there a way to see how much competing contractors charge online? Well, first of all, I want to start answering this question with the second portion of it. Is there a way to see how much competing contractors charge online? You don't want to focus on your competition. It's not hard, I can tell you right now. In most markets, roofing contractors base their price on 40% profit margins. If your rough materials, if your shingle costs about 30%, let's say it's $100, you can pretty much multiply it by 4. You should be about $400 range. Your net profit should be 10%, your gross profit should be about 40%. So 1/3, and that's industry standard all over the country, 1/3 is roughly your materials, 1/3 is your labor, and 1/3 is your overhead, profit, sales commissions, and stuff like that. Now, first part of the question is a little bit more complicated. How do you find out how much to charge for roof installations? Just trial and error, lower your cost until client continuously buys. There's something to it. I did not like the questions at first, but you want to sell at least 50% of your jobs. If you're selling every single job, it means that your price probably too low. You're probably not going to be making a lot of money unless you have zero competition and you're the only option in your town. You should not be also selling too less because you're going to be spending way too much on the marketing expenses, because customer acquisition in the roofing industry is very expensive. You will pay anywhere from $200 to $1,000 for every job, for every lead that will let you to good job, good lead, not just the phone numbers, but good lead. So customer acquisition, it plays big role. So if your closing rate is 10%, you're going to be wasting too much on marketing. So yes, trial error at first, but it has nothing to do with the market. It has everything to do with your charisma and your sales ability to sell those jobs. If you don't believe in your price, nobody's going to buy from you. You have to be an expert. You have to believe in your prices. You have to know what other people are paying. So you have to understand, your competition in your market, but you cannot be focused too much about it. I don't care what my competition does. I know what I do, and I know it's good for my consumer, and that's going to be my price. Integrity Roofing says, one thing I appreciate about your content is that you realize and advocate for people not having these massive companies that are oftentimes stressful and take away from family and overall quality of life. Have you received any feedback that this mindset have persuaded overly ambitious people that they would be happier with a $5 million company as opposed to a $20 million company? I think your perspective is desperately needed in lots of trades and industries. This is just my observation. I've been around a lot of people. I've been around $5 million business owners, 15, 20, 30, 50. The sad reality is that people who do a lot will tell you that it's not about money. Money does not buy happiness. We all know it, but obviously there's too many gray areas and too many things that goes into to answer that question. The way I want to answer it is chase people that you love, chase people that you admire, chase the lifestyle. Like, I'll give you an example. I see a few people in the industry who've done $50, $70 million, right? Big numbers. I don't want to be like them. I don't like their lifestyle. They're way too stressed. They're way too crazy. They're not happy people. They're not good people. I want to be a good person. I want to come home every day and enjoy time with my kids, with my wife. That's important to me. And I always followed people who I loved their lifestyle. If I don't like your lifestyle, I'm not going to buy your book. I'm not going to buy your training because I don't care for it. Now, it's not hard to build a $20 million roofing business, but I've seen people commit suicides. I've seen people spend years in drugs abuse. Alcohol takes big place. Why is that taking place? Because it comes with the stress. If you can build $20 million company and not have any addictions and have perfect work-life balance, kudos to you. Most people can't. That's just ugly truth. And I'm not gonna chase it. Like, I wanna look back 5-10 years from now at my, I have 5 kids, for those who don't know, and I can tell you everything about every kid that I have. I spent good quality time with every single one of them. I don't work Saturdays, I don't work Sundays. I used to, not because I was chasing money, because I was making too little. When I was making $13 an hour, making cabinets, or $15 an hour installing floors, I could not afford not to work Thanksgiving Eve or Christmas. Like, I had to work majority of the holidays. I had to work all Saturdays, and I put long hours also for my kids. But I put a limit on my time. I mean, my kids were very little. I have 1, 2 at a time. When I had 5, I made different decisions. So you decide for yourself what do you want to do. But also, you have to look at your character, at your temper. Oftentimes, when we go bigger, we invite more stress in our lives, and that stress also will bring home. I was watching a movie yesterday, Dog's Life, and I look at the father in that family who ended up leaving them, and I told myself, I don't want to end up like that guy. The guy comes in, have a bottle of beer. My kids never seen me drink alcohol. Do I drink? Yes. When I, travel, there are special occasions, I will have a few drinks with the friends at the conference, at special events. But I'm not going to be drinking in front of my kids. I want to be a good dad, good father. And that's, I think, how I answer this question. It's the most important thing, because family is not first, is everything. Next question comes from Mal Take Kava. Can you do a video on about how to run the back office side of roofing companies, such as an accounting, and how you should allocate your money? I've done plenty of videos on that. Unfortunately, on YouTube channel, I do not share accounting videos, but if you join roofing-school.com, there's plenty of videos where I actually show my QuickBooks, my CRM, and how I manage my money when I was doing 4 or 5 million. I literally doing screenshots, screen recording, how to properly do P&L statements, how to record your books, how to do the sales, how to run reports, all of that on the back office. But this is not something I share publicly for many reasons, because those are real numbers, and I want to make sure I control who is watching it. There's many people who I will never share this information with. BB says on YouTube, now you have this level of influence, a level to shape the roofing industry. What is your vision for the world you will create? Generous comment, thank you for that, but I don't think that I'm that influential. I do see changes, I do see the trends, I do see what we do works. Recently, one of the brands denied to work with us, and the reason they didn't want to work with us because we're too controversial. And they say, well, we're afraid that you're gonna tell it how it is, maybe, or maybe you should change your approach. And I am who I am. I have 18 sponsors on this channel. 18 brands work with us, and let me tell you about those brands. Those brands know that I have a good product. If you have a good product and you're a good person, you have nothing to worry about. People who don't want to do the interview, people who don't want us to review their product, they're shady, they're running marketing gimmicks, they're just bad people overall. They tell you one thing, but they sell you another thing. And this channel is for honest people in business. If you are confident that you have a good product and you always do what's right, we're gonna be best friends. But if you're shady, you know that sooner or later I'm gonna call you out. And there's plenty of products that people should not buy, should not invest. I'm tired of marketing gimmicks, of lifetime warranties, like of fake gurus that we have, shady business practices. This channel will expose that. And I think I don't have to expose every single one of them. We have to set the precedent. Now people know that if you're bad enough, sooner or later you will be featured here. I mean, we would do 10 negative videos, call out videos per year, and it's enough for people to tag us in all of the stories. So, you know, if we call 3 contractors who don't pay their bills, now other 100 contractors will be on the lookout, because nobody wants this publicity. And the same goes with the big brands. You know, you don't have to work with us, but nothing's stopping me to review you anyway. But if you do work with me, it gives you opportunity to actually deliver your message, do damage control when needed. You know, we will never sugarcoat it. I don't care if you pay me $1, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Ask ICO, Atlas, Job Nimbus. When they have problems with their products, I'm their brand ambassador, but I'm gonna be first one on the line, you know, defending that brand or helping them to solve their problems, because nobody's perfect in business, and I'm not afraid to admit my wrongs. And if brands working with me have problems with their product, I'm gonna help them to fix those problems. And if you're a brand who, you know, don't wanna be on that thin line, if you're not confident about your product, if you're afraid to work with me because who knows, I might expose you or expose your weakness, well, you're probably not a good brand for me. Next question comes from GC. What do you think about Metal Awnings? So BDR made one out of zinc a couple months ago. Niche market like gutters. I think it's too small. I like metal roofs in general. I think there's definitely market for it. Is it big enough to call it a niche? I don't think so. I think it's a cool idea, and I think if you're a metal shop, you should do plenty of metal awnings to help your bottom dollar with the revenue, but I don't think it's nearly as big as gutters. People are not Googling it, they're not searching for it. It's hard to push. You know, you can find something, but I don't think it's a niche, big enough for a niche. Anthony Latimer asks on YouTube, will solar shingles be a real part of the business anytime soon? I think that solar shingles already part of the business, but it's such a small percentage. I think the technology is just not there. What's anytime soon? You know, 5-10 years? I think in 10 years, probably it'll be a huge part of roofing business. In the next 3 years, I don't think so. Nicholas Pacheco says, what do you think about the gutter business? And do you offer classes on gutters like you do for roofing? I would say this, if you're good at gutters, you'll be very successful. And everything we teach in the roofing school actually applies to gutters. We probably have 10 gutter companies in the roofing school, so check it out. Principles are the same. It's just different trade, but principles of accounting, advertising, marketing, most business principles are the same. I love gutter business. I think it's one of the best businesses in construction. In many states, even better than the roofing business. It's simple. It's very demanding, not many people are doing. So honestly, good business, love everything about gutters. Austin Works 2 says, can a roofing contractor charge for overhead and profit as a supplement on insurance claims? Absolutely, because roofing business, just like general contractor business, have overhead. I mean, what are you telling me, that you don't have overhead just because you don't do all the trades? You still have office, you still have receptions. I understand where the question is coming from. You know, insurance companies are trying to tell us, well, you're not GC, you're not a lot, but you are. You know, just because you do roofs, it does not mean that you did not have overhead. You know, you cannot tell me that construction business have overhead and you don't. You might have even more employees than they do. So absolutely, you can do that. J107, where do you see a roofing industry heading with all this inflation, labor and material wise? I think if we're smart, we're gonna keep raising our prices like everyone else does. Look at the car market, look at the phone market. It's not only supply and demand, but it's also cost of goods. We have 30% increase on materials alone. Your labor essentially will go up as well. Gas is on the rise right now, so you have to increase prices. It drives me absolutely insanely crazy when I see roofers charge the same thing they did 10 years ago. Just tells me a lot about you. If you cannot adopt the price, but you're willing to pay the price, you're just dumb. You're not a smart person. How much this phone right now? $1,200. How much iPhone was 5-10 years ago? How much? $500? $300? How much is your F-150? 70 grand. How much was it 10 years ago? 30 grand. So give me your logic why you're charging the same price as you did 10 years ago, but you pay for everything else higher price. You pay more for shingles, you pay more for labor. So you are robbing yourself, and it only happens because of your mindset, because you're stubborn and you're not willing to learn, you're not willing to adapt. It's something to do with the human nature. We're kind of like stuck in our ways. Well, people who don't raise their price, they never raise their price. They're just not used to it. And I don't understand it. It's very slow fade. Roofing was very profitable 10 years ago, and it's for many people, not for all people, but for many people, it's going down and down and down. When ABC, SRS, Beacon raise their price, you immediately should raise yours. And I know what roofers say, well, I can't because my competition, who cares? Your competition will be out of business and you will prosper. Do you want to prosper, or you want to be like everyone else? You can definitely raise the price every single time you have price increase, but you have to used to it. It's not easy. Most people just do what's easier for them. It's hard to raise the price. You have to work harder in-house to sell it. So that's what you have to do. Like, it's not negotiable. You have to raise the price. And my prediction is labor and material gonna keep rising, and you will see pretty expensive roofs in the near future. Yusuan Sosa says on YouTube, do you use any credit cards to finance your business? For example, using the cashback benefits on cards for materials? Absolutely. It's just smart business. American Express is an amazing card. Chase, there's so many cards. It's free money to you. Instead of using your bank account, your debit card, absolutely use it. 3-4% if you're smart with it. Yes, yes, and yes. What asphalt shingles manufacturer offer the best and longest warranty for residential homeowners? I don't like talk about manufacturer warranties because they are written by lawyers. But I have to say this, you have to look at class actions. You have to look at, you just ask roofers. I see so many manufacturers who in writing have not the best warranty, but they always honor it. And I also see manufacturers who always talk about their warranties, but when a claim happens, it takes them years to pay. So it's more about who actually pays for their warranties or who's playing gimmicks. Like, I'll give you an example. Malarkey, I've never heard one contractor say that they don't honor their warranty. Do they have problems? Yes. But every single person who I ever met says that Malarkey always paid. Some bigger brands than Malarkey will give you so many headaches dealing with it, even if you're at the elite level certifications. So it's not what's in writing, it's how they deal with it. That's what matters more than what's in writing. And I personally love the brands I work and endorse. People often say, well, you just sell out to ICO, or you sell out to Atlas, or you are sell out to Malarkey, like I mentioned. I'm not a sellout. I just work with the brands that I love the management. If I like the company, if I like a family business, if I like how they run, like, I'll give you an example. I don't like CertainTeed. Sorry, I don't. I have seen too many reports when the roofer posts something on social, problems with the CertainTeed shingles, and they would come and threat him that, hey, you have to remove it, it's disparaging to us. For that reason, do I want to work with CertainTeed? Do I want to work with a brand that bullies their installers? And it actually takes big place in the roofing industry. So I want to work with people who I can have on speed dial, who will work with me, who will help me promote my brand because I promote their brand. That's how I answer that question about manufacturer's warranties. GS4 Clag, creative compensation plan for guys on the roof. Good range of hourly pay to start: the green helper, the experienced helper, and the experienced roofer. It really depends on the area you have, and also we do have illegal people, we do have people with no experience. So what's fair, you ask? I mean, it really depends, what do you offer them? Do you offer them training? Do you offer them safety harnesses? Or like, what do you do for them? I think the rates these days should start with a 25 plus. It's dangerous. You're on a roof. We have to attract people. Money do attract. Not many places you can start at 25 bucks an hour. I think it should be double from fast food industry. So people, youngsters have option to work at McDonald's at 15 or work on a roof at 30. Is it possible? I don't know. I think we're definitely underpaying our laborers. Good compensation plans. I don't have a strong opinion on numbers because I don't want to create, I'm also not a believer that we should demand certain rate. Market will set up the rate. And if you don't like what you're getting, you're probably not going to be doing. But what's going to happen is if we're not paying them good enough money, nobody gonna come to work, and then we will have to raise the price. So that's how market sets it up, but I don't think you necessarily can demand it. Statewide Contracting LLC asking on YouTube, what's your best advice when trying to open a second location, or how to open a second location? Best advice is make sure your first location is running as smooth as possible. In many areas in business, you wanna start before you think you're ready. So it's okay to start a business, to open the first business, you don't want to be ready because you will never be ready. Just like starting YouTube videos, or you just have to start doing. But the second location is a little bit different. If your operation is not smooth and it's not running by itself, and you open second one, you're jeopardizing the first one. So now you might be running too thin, you're spreading yourself too thin, and you'll be distracted, and it takes a lot of energy to start the second location. So be very careful, make sure that your first one is smooth, because if you start too soon, and I see that, you want to almost cap it, if you did not build at least $3-4 million location, let's say you do 1 million, but you're doing second one, what's the point? I've seen people opening 12 locations and doing $12 million between all 12 of them. You know how hard it is? You can do $12 million between 2, 3. They were doing between 12. And of course, they're bankrupt today. The advice is don't open too soon. Reach numbers, cap market with one, and then go elsewhere. Mason Brignac asked on YouTube, what are some good additional services we can offer as a roofing company? Only offer services that complement your roofing system. Things like insulation is good, skylights could be another one because it's literally on a roof. The less you offer, the better. I do like gutters, but you have to be careful how much you offer. Gutters, gutter covers, insulation, those are the services that complements the roofing system and can get you a lot of business and increase your profits. Bless is asking how much to charge due to inflation and price increase. A lot of questions about price increase. Well, inflation is inflation. It's affecting all of us. If you have increased cost, you have to increase what you charge. Many people have struggled with it, and I see it unless you bought a lot of materials in bulk and it doesn't affect it. But even if you did, I still recommend increasing the price. Why? Because sooner or later you will be paying price what everybody else pays, and it's going to be affecting you as well. So you want to make sure it does not happen to you. James Matush asking, how would you raise money for a construction business? My answer is I wouldn't raise money. The only way to raise money is increase your sales, decrease your spending, and save. That's it. I mean, if you have to get a loan, make sure it's something like SBA, low percentage. Don't get MCAs, don't get nothing crazy because it'll be much harder to pay. Gene Shirk asks, how to build successful in-house roofing crews? Well, first of all, you have to have enough work to keep them busy, and you have to start small. Everybody's obsessed with in-house roofing crews, and it's great. I think it starts with your relationship with an insurance company that will be insuring that roofing crew. You want to make sure you have a good record. You want to make sure you have good protocols in place to please your insurance company, not to charge a 50% raise, because I don't think most companies can afford in-house roofing crews. People who do have in-house roofing crews, they've been doing this game for a long time. They started small, and I know companies who do 10-15 crews, but they did not start there overnight. So you have to start slow. You have to prove to insurance company that you can do large amount of work without accidents, and your payroll is steady, you're financially steady, and that's how you build a successful roofing crew.